Welcome on board the MSC Meraviglia, one of my favourite cruise ships of all time. During this video we're going to explore decks 15, 16 and 18. We're going to see the ropes courses, the water slides, the buffet, the sky lounge, all of the swimming pools and loads more, so keep watching this video. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. I bring you a new video every single week. I do ship tours, cabin tours, daily vlogs, first time cruise tips and loads more, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. But now on with the tour. We're going to start our tour by heading inside and heading up, and we'll work our way down. At the top there are kids clubs. There's kids clubs for kids of almost every age and they run all day. They're really good. I don't have any kids and I am not technically a kid anymore, but I've heard really good things about the kids experience on MSC. They've been voted best family cruise line multiple times. Your kids will definitely not be bored if you take them on this cruise. So on to the Sportsplex. Most things in this area have an extra charge and I don't normally pay for things like this when I cruise. They have really cool things here. There are Formula 1 simulators, there are flight simulators, there is bowling. The prices aren't ridiculous, but it's just not really a thing I like to do when I cruise. But as you can see, so many people are enjoying this space. I filmed this on a sea day and it definitely is a really popular place on a sea day. I thought about doing this tour when it was empty, but I thought I'll show you what it actually is like when you cruise. So we've got a little bar here, a place to get food, and you also have to sign a waiver here if you want to go on the ropes courses or the water slides that you will see later in the video. So look at how huge this sports court is. It makes so much more sense to have this inside than on many cruise lines where it's outside in the cold. On now to the Sky Lounge, which is one of my favourite parts of the ship. It is adult only and it's very much a relaxing place where you can sit and you can watch the sail away or you can watch the sunset and just watch the world go by. There's a bar here for drinks and they also give you some little snacks like pre-dinner tapas, which is all free, and little crisps and nuts and things like that. So it's a really nice place to meet up with people and just sit down. Sometimes they'll have piano music here or a violin or someone singing something. This lounge definitely has the best views of any place on the ship. There's glass windows on 3 sides, so pretty much wherever you sit you can see out. I really like to sit here for a sail away or maybe a sunset. Whatever is happening, it's a great place to sit down and it's definitely one of the most relaxing places on board. The ship can be quite loud, there's quite a lot going on, but the Sky Lounge is always relaxing and it's always easy to get a seat in there. On now to what is arguably the most important part of any cruise ship, the buffet. The buffet is absolutely huge on the MSC Meraviglia and it goes around 3 sides of the ship. What I love most is that when they're closing one part, say between breakfast and lunch and dinner, they'll kind of just move food around so the food never really stops. The buffet is actually open 20 hours a day and you can see on the side here there are sinks for washing your hands. I have to admit most people didn't use those sinks, most people just walked in. And when you come in someone will be there trying to sell you a drinks package or specialty dining. I did find this quite annoying but it's easy enough to walk past. It's well worth it to get into this buffet and see all of the food on display. At the front here they make their own mozzarella and I saw so much cheese on this cruise. Italian food, anything you order they'll just cover it in cheese. If you love cheese you're going to have a fantastic time on this cruise, and even if you don't you're going to be good. So they've got pizza here and they even have a cheeseless pizza, so if you don't like cheese don't worry about it. On this side this is actually closed off right now, so this is when they're closing between breakfast and lunch, but this kind of allowed me to show you things without people in the way, which is fantastic. If you can see here, this is one side, this is how many seats there are. Like any cruise ship buffet, sometimes it can be kind of hard to get a seat, but as long as you walk away from the open areas and to the back you'll find somewhere to sit. So over there we've got salad, we've got rotisserie. They'll always have a ethnic corner which will have either Indian or Asian food in it. There's of course a lot of bread, there is a lot of pasta, there is a lot of fresh food, and we were all really happy with the food. There were 6 of us who went on this cruise and we all found things that we'd like to eat in the buffet. Everything was hot, there was plenty of food, loads of food, and we could get a cup of tea whenever we wanted, so it was fantastic. This is where we usually sat, at the back section. People didn't really seem to walk this far, so on the side here you'll see that you have the same sections going around again, so there's probably 3 rotisserie sections and 3 soup sections, all serving the same thing but in different places. There's a grill section too, so you can always get chips and burgers and hot dogs and those like classic comfort foods. If you don't feel like trying something new, there's always foods that you can rely on in the buffet. In the buffet you could really feel the motion of the ship. It was quite vibrating, it's right at the back of the ship, and I kind of just noticed that I was on a ship more in the buffet than I would in the rest of the ship. It wasn't too bad, it didn't really bother me, but it's just something that I noticed about this buffet. So there we have it, the amazing view. That is not curved, I'm just filming this on a GoPro. But what a lovely place to grab some food and sit. This is how much tea they have. They have loads of types of tea. I'm partial to a peppermint tea, that is the one I always go for. There's hot water here, there is juices for breakfast, water and ice. So this was always open, it was never closed when the buffet was open. I recently took a Costa cruise where you could only get a cup of tea between 4 and 5 for the afternoon tea hour, and I really struggled without tea. I've recently made a video about the differences between MSC and Costa, so I will link to that in the description. Make sure you check it out after this one if you are considering a cruise with MSC or Costa. I have to admit, I've never used a gym on a cruise ship. I've been in them to film ship tours, but I never really used them. Apparently the gym is very good on the MSC Meraviglia. It looks like it is huge. It is free to use, you just have to sign a waiver, I believe. Coming outside now, we're going to go and have a look at the ropes course and the water slides. It is a really huge ship which holds, I think, around 4,500 passengers, which is loads, but it never feels crowded on this ship. There are so many places to get a seat. I imagine this would be full of sunbathers when it is sunny, but at the moment there is no one there. There's the odd man in a coat packing away the sunbeds, and I think that says a lot. But we cruised in January and it was freezing. We did have a go on the water slides and the ropes course, and I will link to those videos in the description. But you can imagine how nice this part at the back of the ship would be, with everyone sitting here with a cocktail, enjoying the sunshine. There are loads of sunbeds. I don't think you'll ever have a problem getting a sunbed on this ship. There's just loads of space. It's really, really cleverly designed. It's one of my favourite cruise ships without a shadow of a doubt. You can see up there the ropes course. The ropes course was open pretty much all of the time. I think they close it when it's bad weather and at certain parts of the day, but it seemed like it was always open. All you have to do is sign a waiver before you can go on the ropes course, which says, you know, you won't hold MSC liable if you break your leg. But you do have a harness on. If you fall, you're not going to die, you'll be completely fine. There were loads of little kids on this, making it look really, really easy. I found it really hard and really scary. I put a GoPro on my friend Vicky's head when I went round the ropes course, so definitely check out that video just for the scared facial expressions I pull. It's completely free to use and you can go on it as many times as you like. Definitely check it out when you are cruising on the Meraviglia. If you're cruising on Bellissima, they basically are exactly the same. Coming on now to go and have a look at the swimming pools. There are loads of pools on this ship. There are 2 main pools in the middle. There's a little plunge pool at the back, and there's also a solarium pool inside. The solarium pool was definitely the busiest pool on our cruise because it was freezing. Look at everyone, how much they're getting blown around. You could literally stand at about 45 degrees and just let the wind carry you. I only really went outside to film this ship tour. It is a bit of a shame that we didn't get to use the pools and things as much as you would on a warmer cruise, but it was definitely worth it for us because it was so much cheaper to cruise in January. We still had a fantastic time, we just spent more time inside the ship, and if you haven't already seen part 1 of this video where we show you all of the main promenade and the restaurants and the bars, make sure you check that out. I will link to it in the description. The sky looks very blue and beautiful in this video, but please do not mistake brightness for warmth. It was bright and I really appreciated the blue skies, but it was still freezing. On the left there you will see the roof of the solarium. That is where a lot of people are on a sea day because it's nice and warm in there, and it's definitely good to have this inside pool on a ship this big. The MSC Meraviglia does not have a deck 17 because 17 is unlucky in Italy, similar to how 13 is unlucky in the UK. Here you can see the giant Meraviglia spelt out on the side with a silent G. You don't pronounce the G in Meraviglia, which took me quite a while to learn. Coming on now into the solarium, this is the bamboo pool, which is the inside pool. I've only got a quick sneaky peek at this one because they seem very hot on not letting people film around the swimming pools, which I think is a good idea, but it does make a ship tour kind of difficult. There are seats out here so you can sit and have a bite to eat. There is no one here, again, because it is freezing. Loads of room on the side there for some beds, and they even have these really comfy beds in the pool. Definitely recommend those, but maybe on a warmer cruise. So coming around here, this is just outside the buffet, and there's 2 parts on the side where you'll be able to get food. Sometimes there's food here around breakfast time and lunchtime, and more food is always a good thing, I think. I've never seen a ship with a promenade quite like the MSC Meraviglia. It is lined with shops and restaurants and bars and lounges. It is so full of life, there's always things going on here. And if you haven't already watched my tour of the inside decks of the MSC Meraviglia, make sure you check it out. I will link to it here. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I bring you a new video every single week. Ship tours, cabin tours, daily vlogs, first time cruise tips and loads more.